This episode is brought to you by Audi. The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. It's not just a new EV, it's a new way to experience driving. The all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron is here. The next chapter of Audi starts now.
Welcome back to the Kitchen Conversations. At the Fowl Weather Podcast, we truly believe that the kitchen is the perfect place for sharing information, spending time with family and friends, and genuinely BSing about life, ducks, the science of duck migration, duck conservation, and duck hunting itself. At either home or camp, the kitchen is a place to celebrate the day and come together to learn from each other, but it's also a place to simply enjoy life. The Fowl Weather Podcast aims to use the Kitchen Conversations as a way to bring duck science with duck science people directly to you in raw form. But we also aim to simply talk with duck people across duck country as well. You're going to notice that duck science people are also duck people from across duck country. Think about that for a second. Most of the people that work very hard to conserve ducks, duck habitat, and everything you care about are also duck hunters from across duck country USA. So let's jump into the kitchen in North Dakota with our friends Sean, Jim, and Sarah. Thanks for listening, and as always, may your skies be filled and shoot straight, my friends. All right, so we are here in sunny North Dakota, sunny and windy most days, I'd say, for another episode of the Kitchen Conversations. We've not done one of these in a long time, and I've got with me my crew that's here in North Dakota hunting. My neighbor, Sean. We're not giving last names.
Hi, podcasters.
He was on the one with Chad Fisher in Missouri, and he said, "Hello, podcast," and that was his line. So I got Jim, who we know through Ducks Unlimited, and he also helps manage some of my money stuff, I'd say. And then my better half, my money stuff, my Roth and things like that. And then and the DU chapter is really where we met Jim as well. We have to deal with Sean because he's our neighbor, but he's become a great friend. And my lovely wife, Sarah, who finally shot a green wing too this week. So, yeah. And it was like, I put it on the episode I recorded this week. It actually did. We shot one coming across, our friend Heath and I. And then this bird went, I've never seen it. The whole rising teal thing that you do sporting clays. And it went, boo! And I was like,
the one that you never hit?
The one she never...
I can hit those when they come up. Not when it goes like up, the ones that reaches the top, I can never hit them.
Yeah, the ones that come up and like that, yeah.
So what we're going to do is go around the table, and we are going to kind of get a story of, I don't know exactly how everybody got into hunting. Sarah has like a funny picnic table story and a purple poofy coat, but I haven't heard it for a while, so we're going to get that one. And in general, how folks got into hunting, and specifically, maybe drill down to duck hunting. And I know some of these stories, so I'm going to maybe drill a little deep with y'all. And then we actually have something new that we've never done before, the Fowl Weather Podcast Waterfowl Kitchen Quiz. So we're going to do a 10-question quiz show at the end, and everybody just rolled their eyes. Because Sarah's, if she loses working for DU, she's just fired. Effing fired. So Sean, we know, like, you're a hunting nut. You've been part of a bunch of deer camps and things like that. Turkey season you seem to live for. You kind of work so that you can take like months off. But where did it, and you and your brother both hunt too. So where did it all start?
I was a young kid, I probably 12, 13, started working for a farmer next door because my father didn't hunt. And go shoot those woodchucks. So I started shooting woodchucks. Mm-hmm. Then when we got 16, back when I was young, we had party permits for does. So a bunch of friends, we all put into it.
Because the deer population was so low, there were party permits.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
And I got into that, started hunting, loved it, absolutely loved the outdoors. when I got married, I bought my wife a lifetime license and my kids a lifetime license. I'm also buying my grandchildren their lifetime license. So I love hunting, I love the outdoors, and I love you as being my neighbors, being outdoorsy.
Outdoorsy too, yeah. And sucking you into things like this at a podcast. So you identify as a person. You don't come and go from it. It's like a thing you're doing. Yeah. Yeah, and your son hunts and you taught him everything, Colin, as well.
Yes, hunts and fish. We call him the Fish Whisperer.
And who's he named after?
He is named after my great uncle Colin, who was also a hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have his shotgun and stuff. He hunted English birds, aka pheasants and grouse, basically, and small game.
But your dad's like very, go with ethnic Prussian or something, but very German.
He was born in East Prussia.
Yeah.
And lived through World War II and just didn't hunt.
Right. Well, it was after, wasn't it that there was something about not being able to shoot things after kind of going through the
after the war, no German could have a gun. So.
Right. But there was like something about stomaching the idea of like shooting an animal, I thought, with him. Maybe I'm wrong. It was like,
that's more of my mother putting that into him.
Okay.
Yeah, but no.
Okay.
That all changed with me, and I got my brother into hunting. My brother didn't hunt either.
Right.
I bought him his first shotgun. And got him into hunting.
Yeah, and you've got some cool pictures of you guys as youngins near the farm, I think, too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some of this came with being kind of growing up in a farm community too, where it was possible as well.
Very rural, very hunting oriented.
Yeah. So you also talked about, like, before I even knew you, you duck hunted a little. Like, I think you've done a little. We actually had years where you didn't. We either bought you a duck stamp or you got your own, and then you just. I think it was like 2 years ago or something, or last year. You didn't even go, like, duck hunting at all. I think 1 year, but
2 years before we went to Missouri and Mississippi.
Oh yeah, we did that last year, but then 2 years before you didn't go, and then we hunted Montezuma a few times before. Like that time with the thousands and thousands of birds, and we shot like one black duck, like nothing came back at all.
Used to goose hunt a lot.
Like today, like what just happened to you guys today. Yeah.
Used to goose hunt a lot when I was a kid with my farmer friends. And stuff.
Well, that's what was fun is like, because we shot redheads and stuff the first day. I'm like, have you ever shot redheads? And actually, you've shot a fair number of species just over the years, slowly going with people, right?
I think I got a few species I never have.
Here?
Yeah,
cool.
Last couple of days,
Cool. How's the duck hunting been here, guys?
It was awesome the first day. Just freaking awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty busy around here, but I would say we haven't even had to go to a backup spot yet.
No.
Now it's probably just jinxed us for tomorrow, but we've been pretty lucky. We've been kind of going off the beaten path a little bit too.
I
So
think we've shot 11 different species.
Yeah,
11
Jim
different
and I were
species. Yeah.
Writing them down today as we were driving.
Cool.
Today. 11.
Does that count pheasants? Or is that just all
we did
ducks?
put
So,
pheasants.
10 ducks, 10 duck species, and pheasants.
Could have shot up.
I'm trying to do the math.
Trying to figure out what 10 they are because I've got to like 7 so far.
Green, blue,
Green wing, blue wing,
Mallards,
mallards.
pintails,
pintail,
widgeon.
gaddy.
When'd you get a widgeon?
I thought you guys got one.
No,
No.
we don't have a widgeon.
Okay,
Yeah.
9.
9,
Like that,
Gadwall. Yeah.
Canvasback.
Canvasback.
Oh, we might have
Bufflehead.
forgot.
Buffalo.
Shoveler.
Shovelers, yeah.
Yeah.
Shovelers.
All right, well, yeah, we're getting up there.
And you got a skull, a bluebill.
A greater scop, actually, which is
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
This is what we wrote down. Mallards, pintails, gouty, widgeon, shoveler, bufflehead, green and blue wing, teal, redhead, bluebill, pheasant.
Yeah.
Saw swans, pelicans, and sandhill cranes.
And we missed geese, both of us. We actually called one in yesterday with Heath. He was out in the decoys moving things around. And this thing circles and comes. And you ever look through the cattails and you completely lose depth perception? I'm like, all right, get him. And I stand up and I'm like, and Heath's like, we're doing this, aren't we? It's at like 50, 60 yards. And of course I've been helping PR funds this trip by just ripping 3 shots for no apparent reason and thing, but not killing them. But yeah.
We had one duck come in tonight, right? And he was like, "Oh, he's going ahead. Let's take him." I looked up and he landed like 45 yards out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
It's hard to tell though, looking through the weeds.
when you're looking through the cattails. Yeah, I always when they fly through, like you can go like this and be like, okay, they're turning,
Geese are
and then you squat down and you look again and you're like, where the did that thing go? you know.
Geese are even worse because they're so damn big. They get close.
Actually,
and you stand up and like.
And when we've been doing all the duck stuff all day, I'm like, that thing's right on top of us. And I pull up, and Sarah's like, what? But anyhow, I did crunch that. What was that? That was a gadwall. That was because we kept having them drift over, and I'm like, forget, when they're right over the top, I'm like, it was about 40, 45, and I'm usually shooting no more than 35s. But yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully we'll get you on another good duck shoot tomorrow, Sean. But it's been a good trip so far, and seen a lot of stuff.
Awesome trip. It's awesome.
Yeah, seen stuff we haven't before.
Yep.
So, where did you get into ducks though? Because you hunted in like the St. Lawrence and stuff at one point.
Friends up there. My parents had a pond out back, so
yeah,
if it was duck season, I'd go out and.
Isn't there a story? Is there like a story? I don't know. I can edit this out if it's a thing, but because you can't get in trouble after the fact, can you?
Okay.
Except murder.
Wasn't there a duck hunt out somewhere on somebody's island in the St. Lawrence when it wasn't duck season?
That was in this with Jimmy and Adam. They told me, let's go, we're going, it's duck season. I go, we're not the guys shooting.
Why is there nobody else out here, right?
Well, we got a bunch of ducks and oops.
Was it the split or something? Or
yeah, it was a week early. And
Yeah.
it was right on the line too. One side of the road was one zone and the other side of the road was another zone. So
I did that years ago in Western New York. I went up Christmas morning and shot a limited ducks on this little creek that we saw on. Like, nobody else is out. This is great because it didn't start until the next day.
The next day.
The next day.
Yeah. Well, it's on the podcast, the Missouri blueing hunt that I went on. And I pull up to this place. It's 10 Mile Pond. It's like a well-known conservation area. And I'm the only person in the parking lot. And there's only a little bit of water. And I'm like, I'm a college kid going out there. And I literally went out, set all my stuff up, got there wicked early. And like, nobody's pulling in. Not a soul. So I walk all the way back to the parking lot and look at the kiosk to make sure I'm legal. And I shot, I think, a limit of bluewings that day. It was
legal.
It was legal. I shot a bluewing that had been banded like 2 days ago in like near Bismarck, North Dakota.
Wow.
Yeah, those things, when they go, they go. So Sean's from like the Finger Lakes region. Jim, you're from my part of the world, like Jamestown area, Western New York. What's your, I mean, I know some of your background, but family, everybody hunted or how to go?
Yeah, my dad hunted and just deer and sure, Sean, deer and rabbits. So we had a beagle. Still have a beagle now. I've had many of them over the years. But we lived on a little lake, little kettle hole in Western New York called Bear Lake, and it's probably 3/4 of a mile by half mile with a brushy outlet, and kind of flooded, our own little flooded timber area. And so my brother and I started hunting ducks, and back when you could use lead, so we hand loaded number 5 lead.
Oh, you are fucking old.
I am old. We row our little rowboat out there with no life jackets on and go through some skim ice and survived surprisingly. So that's how I got into duck hunting. And there were virtually no geese around then in Western New York. I mean,
that's before all the geese were like the big giant Canadas were restored.
Big deal for somebody to get a goose. Yeah. We hunted tons of wood ducks and black ducks, a lot of little beaver bogs and floated little canoe trips.
Does that place exist anymore?
Yeah, but it's all posted like a mother now.
Yeah.
Well, the lake's open because it's a public lake. But,
right.
But we hunted everything: grouse, turkeys, rabbits, squirrels, deer.
So you've had the bug.
Yeah.
All along.
Yeah, I bought my first shotgun at J.C. Penney in the Chautauqua Mall. Ithaca 20-gauge pump, which I still have.
Well, and what I get, Jim actually one up me because I'm like, I grew up in a hunting camp in a dead end valley with a dirt floor. He's like, I'll get you. So. You came from some pretty humble beginnings. You feel okay to share that with with the world here?
Yeah. So my parents got divorced and Grandma gave Mom a little plot of land. So 6 kids and Mom moved into a 10 by 50 foot trailer with a 12-foot backhoe dug well. Which went dry in the summer and froze in the winter. Right?
Was it at least rocked in or like?
No.
It was just a hole in the ground?
No, I don't remember how. It was a 12-foot. Yeah, it was 12-foot deep was all. And
I remember you saying you had to go out and obviously bust ice.
No, there was an artesian well across the street. So we'd go down there like other people would do with broomsticks and get buckets of water and milk jugs of water.
Yeah, like other people do. It was hilarious. That's a good segue. That's an inside joke. We're gonna leave that ambiguous because it's it would get me fired from the Foul Weather podcast. So
yeah. So then so then I moved, went to college and came out to Syracuse and graduate school. And then I met you all.
yeah. Oh right, that right. You went to graduate school and then you met us. There's nothing in between. You've been out here. How many ducks?
I think 5 times I've been out here.
And you went with Ramsey to Mexico to shoot, or one of his trips through his guides.
Yeah. So if you ever, if you're not afraid of Mexico, which you don't need to be, because it's, it's like lots of other states. There are places you don't go, like downtown, outside of Syracuse in the middle of the night.
Right.
And anyway, so we went to Mazatlan, Mexico in 2018, and through Ramsey Russell. You can still use lead shot and hunt in a t-shirt, shoot 20 ducks a day. Man. Yeah.
And you've been up here before too, different parts of North Dakota.
5 times. I think this is my 5th trip up here, and we had
to North Dakota specific.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh wow.
At least 4, but I think 5.
So how's this one rank?
Hot.
Yeah.
2 colossal snowstorms. The first 3 or 4 I came up, we had 94 was closed for 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah. And which was great duck hunting though after that.
Well, that's the fear of getting stuck here, right? And like, I also don't want to be. So a lot of people will like go before their season opens if they're down south. Like our season's going, we at least got in opening day by us. But then I don't want to, like I deer hunt too, so I don't want to be up and over here during the major part of the rut when I got big bucks running around, honestly. So I'd kind of go later. I mean,
I would like to go later too, with the chance of getting froze out. But when it snowed those 2 times, we had really good hunting because all those little ones we've been hunting or you guys been hunting, freeze over. Yeah. So then the bigger ones are
the big ones get better. Yeah, and like Chris Nicolai's in Saskatchewan right now. He was on the podcast. I don't know when this is going to air, but let's just say a few weeks back. Scientist for Delta Waterfowl. He's up there with his daughter, and they're just like we're starting to see a few specks, but they're just piling in up there at this point. Yeah. So we're a little ahead of schedule, and these, as you can attest, these ducks are a little stale. Right now, I think so. You bumped what? You bumped 500 birds off a pond today, and not one came back.
Yeah, at least 500.
We met Jim and I were driving around scouting, and we go in to meet this one local and talk to him, older gentleman with a beard, but probably down to his knees, and he goes, "Yep, all we got is stale water here."
Stale water. That's a new one I'll have to use on the podcast.
Stale water.
Yeah, I always talk about stale ducks
He's rubbing his beard like a duck command.
Or the opposite. How's it go? Come on, hot, fresh ducks hot from the north.
There you go.
So.
Yeah. So it's fun to go different places. Because when I grew up, we shot wood ducks and mallards and blacks. Yeah. I mean, no divers. Nothing else. No widgeon. No teal. So.
Well, and that's funny because like there's places that's what's weird about New York is like you can go to some refuges and big wetland complexes and you get all those species that you get out here. Yeah. But as soon as you get away from them, they don't exist. It's not like in Mississippi where Sarah and I spent some time and you can kind of kick around and those ducks are all over, or here in North Dakota, right? Yeah.
So it was kind of foreign to me when I got some duck surveys. These goofy questions like, would you rather drive 2 hours with a chance to get 4 ducks, or drive a half an hour and get 1 duck, whatever? Because we were able to walk out the door and hunt all day in any direction. Right. Ducks and pheasants, or not pheasants, grouse, rabbits, everything. Yeah.
You're a beagle man.
Yeah, I'm a beagle man. Yeah. So to talk about driving 2 hours to hunt ducks just was something we never even occurred to us that people had to do that. So.
Yeah, I think this is the thing with North Dakota and other places now is that out-of-staters are becoming a big thing. And, it's a love-hate relationship, I think, because it brings funds into the places.
But it's really driven by duck hunters.
Yeah, and we're not saying exactly where we're at because I don't want to blow any place up on anybody, right? That's just not fair. It's bad enough I even use the word Montezuma once in a while.
Yeah.
But, the Atlantic flyway is like the redheaded stepchild, and it ain't all that. So, anyhow. Yeah. But... no, cool stuff. I'm glad you don't have to drink out of a hand-dug well anymore.
I moved up the
ladder there. Yeah. Would you say you're now you Central New York person or Finger Lakes person? Yeah. Like, how do you identify? Because you spend time in Florida too in the winter.
Yeah. So now I'm actually a Florida resident. So I hunt ducks in Florida now. So which is why I got the new Benelli.
Yeah. Yeah. Jim's all about fancy guns and then trying to take them when we go shoot sporting clays and see if I want to buy them. And I'm a utilitarian. I'm not a gun collector too much.
As
so.
a financial guy, you can't afford to buy the things.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate you acknowledging that I'm a biologist and a professor and not rolling in the dough. So moving on to Sarah Fleming. She's doodling on the paper here. Well, everybody knows who you are. Oh, sorry, Catherine. Catherine Sarah Fleming. Yes. So I would say your dad kind of got you into it. He hunted. I'm going to tell your story for you. Okay.
What's new?
But
Yeah, really. I'll correct you. Don't worry.
anyhow, I will let you do this. It seems like what was cool is when we met, there was interest, but you hadn't had the opportunity to hunt a lot. So you started really hunting once we actually got married, right? In Maine, I would say, maybe is when we kind of started to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
But you had humble beginnings as a tag along with your dad in Ontario, Canada. So Sarah's Canadian. We won that battle and brought her to the States so to live. And as everybody knows on here, Sarah works for Ducks Unlimited. So if she again loses the Waterfowl kitchen quiz, she gets fired from DU. So what's your kind of background with hunting and how you kind of got into it nowadays?
It's kind of I guess sort of a cliche in some respects, but grew up in a hunting family. Dad hunted, deer camp, that kind of thing. I always remember bringing home deer and being the one in the garage helping skin deer, hanging off the hides, pulling it off, that kind of thing. But of course, no girls allowed at the hunt camp. So
I'm not allowed at the hunt camp though. Like I hinted about this, and he was like, you could tell it was like a no.
Yeah.
It was like this is my time because there's a lot of like what happens at deer camp stays at deer camp,
Yep.
And I think socially and everything, I think it's a different place than he is at home. And I don't think he wants me to see that side.
Well,
I don't know. That's my guess. That's
even
my speculation.
My cousin, my dad's nephew, isn't allowed. So it's very much his high school buddies, and his father has given up his spot. He was part of it, but anyway, no girls allowed.
And how far of because that's an 8. You guys don't know the story. The ATV ride from it's already gravel road, right? Or is it a paved road that they go in on? Do you know?
It's gravel that they get at least to the starting point where they unload the ATVs, and then they have to.
And how long is it from there on ATV to the camp?
Well, it's 10 miles of basically no trail, like through beaver dams and rocky terrain, and I don't know how many axles on trailers they've broken. And fortunately now with satellite phones, they actually have reception, but there were years when they were like,
that's crazy.
No,
but it's like all rutted up because people have been riding ATVs in there more like recreationally and tearing the road up because it used to be better.
Is this North Bay area?
No, it's past North Bay a little bit, but it's all on Crown land. So they have a grandfathered lease. I forget for how many years that they are allowed to have the cabin on the Crown land, which is which is public land available, owned by Canada. It's available to people to hunt. So
there's not a lot of deer shooting up there. Let's say that
it's
pretty thin.
It's a stock. He does a lot of stalking. But there's not a lot of deer hunting, and deer hunting has been significantly reduced to the point where now it's just a boys' camp as opposed to actually being.
He's killed some. Camp. He's killed some nice deer up
in
there
the past,
for sure.
Yeah.
Didn't somebody got injured one year, like broken arm or like they had to take somebody out on like a stretcher and like bouncing on that road too.
Yeah, and I think they had to medevac actually were able to meet him. But there was a pretty significant arm break, or I forget what it was, but or if it was a bone. Anyway, needless to say, thank goodness for satellite phones.
They got they built like a wood fired sauna and stuff out there in the woods, and
our neighbors have a camp.
Yeah. So your background on the hunting portion then.
So it started out relatively didn't really do a lot of it. I was actually really engaged with the Green Wing program growing up. So shout out to Ducks Unlimited and getting kids in the outdoors, and got really engaged in wetlands and wetland habitat restoration, and kind of really got enamored with waterfowl at a young age, which is part of the reason I'd like to get out with my dad occasionally when things, I guess the timing was right. He would go out to the local marsh and pretend to shoot some ducks, but it was more about spending time in the marsh with dad. So myself and one other girlfriend of mine at the time, we didn't get out very much, and we of course were short. We're 10-year-olds, I'm not there to shoot. I was just there to see dad do it, and it was deep and muddy, and we had to take a canoe in, and so the only way we could get back there was basically my dad and his buddy would drag a picnic table all the way back into the marsh. So the idea being that I had a place to stand. And the one day that really stands out in my mind is I insisted, of course, that I had this purple jacket.
I go with purple poofy coat.
Poofy coat, yeah, that I insisted on having to wear to go duck hunting for whatever reason. And of course, my dad was, and still to this day, will not argue with me on something like that. And so he said, sure. And of course, we got to watch a lot of ducks flare, and we never pulled the trigger.
Never pulled the trigger.
But it was a good day in the marsh with Dad, and here I am now. So
there's a lot in between, though. I mean, you went and did a master's degree at Mississippi State with Rick Kaminsky and on WRP land and stuff like that. And we hunted quite a bit there, because I'm trying to think of how it all went. I got a postdoc at the same time. You got a master's position working at Mississippi State, and we were leaving Maine. And we started duck hunting there quite a bit. Actually, we turkey hunted a lot together, I think, mostly, right?
Yeah.
Before anything. Yeah. So, but you kind of caught the bug now, and my buddies are always like, hey, can we duck hunt together? I'm like, nope, going with my wife. Nope, going with my wife. Oh, can we talk about the domestic in the marsh that one time? That was fun.
Yeah, let's.
Can you tell that, or should I tell it?
Well, you were wrong.
I was wrong. I was definitely probably wrong, yeah. So there's this wetland unit at Montezuma. Have you guys heard this story about the domestic in the marsh? This is a good one. So we're going in at the same spot as these other guys, but there's like two different channels, like next to each other, but like tall cattail and frag between them. So I always talk to people, because I like want to know where people are at, so I can spread out from them, because I know the marsh well enough. If they're going to the spot I want to go, I'll just go someplace else, you know. So they look over at Sarah when we're going in the marsh, and they're like, hey, oh, wow, that's cool. You're taking your daughter duck hunting. And it's just dark out. They can't tell. I mean, flattering, right? And I'm like, no, man, that's my wife. And they're like, oh, that's cool. Your wife duck hunts. And I'm like, well, yeah, she works for Ducks Unlimited, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, to kind of tell our story about a little, just briefly, which never happens with me. I have to, like, spill my whole life story to people anyway. But they go on their way, and they're like, we're going down here and then going right. I'm like, okay, that's cool, because we're just going here to the left. And it was one of those days, like the pocket had a bunch of birds coming into it pretty regularly all morning, but it was like we couldn't sit together. Like when we can sit close to each other, it's easy. You've been like this with friends too. Like it's easy to call the shot and both people can shoot. But we had to spread out a little bit because the cover was thin, and there was just no way for two of us to sit in the same spot. So she's about 50 yards away from me. Ooh. And maybe not even that far, maybe 30 yards, something like that. But she's used to me calling the shot, right? And I think since then, that's been like 8 years ago, probably. You've hunted a lot more, and she makes her own decisions on when to shoot and stuff a lot better than she used to. But your dad has bad depth perception, too.
Oh, I have bad depth perception.
She's bad depth. That's part of it, right? So that's why she wants me to call, like, hey, they're close enough, go ahead and shoot. And all day long, these birds are drifting by. I'm like, shoot. Nothing. And we're down to like one duck left for everybody. And this, big bunch of mallards is coming around. 200-300 birds are just swinging, and we just need one bird. And I'm like, all right, take him. Nothing. I'm trying to like get her to shoot these things. And we've already been arguing about her not shooting all day. And I just stand up eventually and just plug this one greenhead. And I'm like, oh my God, would you fucking shoot? And then both of us just kind of let go in the marsh, yelling back and forth. And I didn't. And then we pick all our stuff up. The heated battle over when to shoot, when not to shoot, calms down. And we come out, and I couldn't see, but over that like little berm, that difference where those guys went in the one channel, we went in the other, they were paddling through quietly as we're screaming at each other in the marsh. And I get out, and the guy's like, how's that hunting with your wife thing going?
It was not wrong.
Yeah, he was envious initially. He was like, man, screw that.
But hey, last week we were Sarah had one bird left to shoot for our limit of 18, and a widgeon came in and just, crunched it to the point that, my buddy Gary and I were like, nice. Like it was a
one bird, one shot.
One bird, one shot type thing. So she's, and shooting sporting clays with you, Jim, too, and you pushing us to do it has helped. So, and Sarah, because
it's fun to beat you guys at that.
Yeah. You are a better shot.
Although I have been beating Mike this year.
I know it. Yeah.
I haven't had enough chance to see you shoot because I was like, Jim's probably really good at sporting clays, but probably can't hit shit when he's on the
Well, that first day I couldn't hit shit.
Oh, really?
Well,
Sean was crushing them.
Yeah, I'd shoot at one, he'd shoot too. So.
Yeah. She
That's-
slowed up a pintail for me yesterday. I like that when she gimps them a little and they're like backpedaling. You can crush them. So.
No,
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Anything to add, sir?
No, you were wrong,
So-
but we're good.
I always go with you. What is it? You could be right.
You could be right.
could
That's
be
a
right.
family saying. You could be
Oh,
right.
really? But that really means you're wrong.
Yeah, it basically
Like in
means I
Florida.
don't want to argue anymore, but I'm right, you're
I
wrong.
was telling Mike in Florida, they say, bless your heart.
Yeah.
That means fuck off.
Yeah,
And then you can say anything you want.
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
our family motto. You could be right.
We're all going to have to, I mean, I'm not saying let the F-bombs and everything fly. I try to keep it a little low, but the kitchen conversation stuff, it's just going to come out,
Right.
This will be labeled explicit anyway, so everybody's children should probably not listen to this. So
You're putting that
R
caveat
rated.
now.
I'm putting that in now. Yes, it's already labeled that way anyway. So, Sean, you'd come back and do this again?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is probably
Fish camp's
It-
really good.
Fish camp is very good, but this was just freaking awesome.
Yeah.
The drive out here,
Wait till we have to go back through Chicago though.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. And we
Yeah.
still have 2 days to do it.
Swans.
It's fun
It's
to
other
see.
birds too, like pelicans.
Pelicans,
Swans.
those
Yeah.
pelicans
White-
flying over
white
was just
pelican.
awesome.
Yeah.
Seeing the sandhill cranes, I think that's the first time I've ever seen
That many coming
Wow.
through
God,
Indiana, Wisconsin, everywhere. Yeah.
I haven't seen any here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Wisconsin's a big.
They're not even down here yet. Well, they're breeding in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
The tundra swans. How many tundra swans we
Oh,
seen?
yeah.
So, right?
Yeah, we had
Is
a
that the
friend
first
with
bunch of
swan
like white fronts you've ever heard and seen too? Probably,
Yeah.
isn't it?
The speckled bellies.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're such a cool. I would love to get on a field hunt, but it's just tough.
It's hard.
It's tough to find them. So
And I want to say too that the people that we've met here in North Dakota,
Mm.
very nice, very
Yeah.
accommodating
yes,
for
they
out
are.
of state hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found the farmer people that we've met north of here, most of them haven't been anywhere but North Dakota. So they were, they're
Right.
from New York and they see New York plates and they're just interested in heck to see what New York's like.
Well, that's why I always say Finger Lakes,
Yeah,
right? And I don't,
Oh, yeah.
I don't give them my last name right away because they associate me with Chuck Schumer.
right.
I try to like disassociate myself
Yeah.
from the city.
Yeah, I always tell them, Central New York,
Yeah.
not the city,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but they're very nice, welcoming people.
They are, and everybody. I mean, this is when I lived in South Dakota. It was the same way. The
The food's-
nicest people I've ever met, and I think some of it is like, it's either too hot, too cold, too windy, too much snow, too little rain. That like if you're a jerk and you don't stick together, you die out here. That's kind of
Yeah.
like a 3-inch snow turns into a 20-foot drift,
Yeah.
right? Like
Well, that's
you
what
got to
Rodney-
look out for
that's
each
what
other.
Rodney was saying when not last year but the year before when the wind gets blowing 60 miles an hour, 8 inches of snow becomes a
Yeah.
They lose power for 2 weeks,
He
and,
lost power for 14 days. He said.
Wow.
and his tractor generator died.
Burned through. I think he said he burned through a couple,
Oh,
3
wow, that's
generators,
scary.
and they have 4 wells to take care of for water
For all the-
cows,
Yeah.
and then the house
yeah.
to heat, and the kids. Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot.
He said it's tough. Man.
Yeah, it is. And what I was impressed with is I don't know. I lost count of how many trucks they have sitting around that place.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of
A lot of
stuff. Yeah,
They have a big farm they got to manage, so
yeah.
a lot of head of cattle.
No, it was fun. He had his Aussies with him, and we hunted his wetland yesterday, and he was moving cattle behind us, and they didn't run over our gear that we left on the side, but it was touch and go there for a minute.
Yeah,
So-
learned a valuable lesson. Don't put it on a count trail.
Well, Heath was saying, yeah, he's like, you don't want to park your truck in a spot they move cows into, because he's like, I've had mirrors ripped off and them rubbing on it, and then they lick everything on your vehicle, and their tongues are rough, so your whole vehicle's scratched to shit by the time you get out of the place.
Like me on the bus.
Yeah. Calm down there, Sparky.
Some inside joke that we're probably not allowed to say on this because I get fired. All right, do you want to know the rules of the quiz show here?
Sure.
Sure.
So
There are no rules.
there are no rules. The first rule of the Fall Weather Podcast Waterfowl Kitchen Quiz is there are no rules. No. So there's sheets of paper here. We don't have fancy whiteboards or anything like that. But, use the same sheet over and over, hide it from people, right? So they can't see your answer type thing. And I'll keep a tally of the score. It's 10 questions. If there's a tie, there are 2 tiebreakers at the end, because the one tiebreaker, I feel like we might get the same answer from 2 people at the end. And you know what? If we don't need a tiebreaker, we're still going to do them. just for fucking fun.
Right.
So yeah.
All right.
All right, we're gonna start with an easy, a softball. And I'm gonna caveat this because Sean's all nervous because he's like, I don't know anything about waterfowl. Jim probably thinks he's somewhat intelligent about this because he's been with DU for years and a duck hunter. And
That
Sarah
was
probably
like-
thinks she's gonna knock this out of the park. She literally has a waterfowl degree, so we'll see how this goes.
I got fired if I didn't. So, no pressure.
No pressure.
I'm
All right.
a biologist by training.
You are a biologist by training,
Yeah.
microbiologist though, right?
Yeah.
Cell bio. Well, yeah, it's the same garbage. All right. Question number 1. There are 3 species of swans in North America. Which of them is exotic and invasive? Does not come from this continent. You only have to give me the one that is exotic and invasive. There are 3 species of swans in North America. Which of them is exotic and invasive? Why am I saying exotic and invasive, Sarah? What's the difference?
Oh, that's one. Go ahead.
No, you can do this, right? No. Exotic just means it's not from
Not
here.
native, yeah.
But-
Invasive means
but
it
like,
takes over a habitat.
Invasive means it has negative impacts on native
On
wildlife,
native wildlife,
right?
yeah.
So something can be exotic, like foxtail grass. A lot of the cetarias are just naturalized, like pheasants. Pheasants don't have a negative impact, right? They're exotic.
exotic,
They're
but-
from China, but they're not considered
Yeah,
invasive.
in
I
theory,
guess I'll change my name, my guess,
Oh,
to the definition.
all right. Is everybody ready?
Oh, I have to tell my answer now.
You show it to me.
Oh, I
so
thought we were, no.
you show it to everybody at this point. Everybody knows
I
your
said
answer.
trumpeter.
Oh, mute swan, mute swan. Mute swan's the winner. Chicken
That's
dinner.
what I had first. Mute.
you did.
Did you? Why'd you change it?
Because you said.
I'm a biologist.
Oh,
Trumpeter.
You see the mute.
Trumpeters actually.
Oh,
You might be able to use that piece of paper again. Yeah. Trumpeters actually were reintroduced in the East, and there's a lot of controversy as to how many there actually ever were in the East. But Ontario reintroduced them.
Ooh, maybe half
So-
point. 'Cause they're
No,
not native to the-
Half
No,
point, half
no,
point.
no,
Half
no.
point.
I think that's
I was
why you
there.
did that. But tundra swans,
Because you were saying taken over and whatever. So I thought, it seems to be more trumpeter than mute.
tundra swans are what we're seeing here now.
Andra. That was the other one.
Are what we're seeing, and this is crazy. They spend 75% of their year migrating, basically, all the way across the prairies down to the East Coast, and then back. And 25% of their time they're actually on the breeding grounds. They're one of the longest kind of time period migrants that exists.
Wow,
pretty
that's
nuts.
interesting.
Yeah,
Those are tundras.
tundras.
Tundras, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Question number
What are
2.
the biggest? What are the biggest ones?
Trumpeters.
Trumpeters,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, I got to get this right. Trumpeter swans, like the black on their bill, surrounds the eye, and on a tundra, it looks like it's like poking it because it's a little thinner as it goes towards the eye.
Out,
Those are all tundras.
The tundras,
Yeah, those
yeah.
are all tundras, and they sound different too, right? They don't sound like a trumpet. So, number 2. Oh goodness, what species of sea duck winters in the Bering Sea? Sean's like, I don't even know what the name of a sea duck. What species of sea duck winters in the middle of the Bering Sea? I think this is probably the hardest one. Ooh. That's a penguin, Sean.
I crossed out Eider and wrote Harlequin.
Oh,
What is it?
it's spectacled eiders. So Sarah gets 1. What'd you put? Jim put
Harlequin.
Harlequin. Sean put emperor penguin.
I
So,
thought there. What's it?
oh, that's an emperor goose.
Sorry, I'm-
No,
They're
Oh,
near there. That's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's good. No,
Yeah,
no,
they are there,
no,
yeah.
that's not bad. That's you're getting that
What
from
was it?
Speckled till damn it. Speckled iris.
Spectacled?
Speckled. I
Spectacled.
can't say that word.
because they look like they've got glasses.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Spectacled.
So this is the story, and I think somebody's going to have to correct me and send me hate mail to drmike@foulweather.co if I didn't get this info quite right. But what I've heard is that researchers implanted like satellite telemetry units in spectacled eiders when they were on the mainland nesting because they come onto Alaska. They're high Arctic nesters in Alaska and in Russia. And they implanted satellite telemetry units in them and then were able to see where they were at in the winter and then went out and flew a plane and found like nearly the entire population in one giant flock in the middle of the
Wow.
Bering Sea. So they're like, there's a lot of risk with the entire population wintering in a single
spot.
location. So they always worry about like oil spills and other climate change impacts and things like that.
They're such a cool bird.
So they're awesome. Yes, they are. All right. Another one that I would say is a little bit of a easier one. Question number 3. Name 2 species of cavity nesting ducks. So they make they nest in cavities. One of them has to be a duck that dives to eat.
So do you need 2 species?
2 species, but one of them has to be a duck that dives to eat.
Can both of them be a duck that dives to eat?
One has to be a duck that dives to eat.
So the other one has to be.
No.
Stop! This is horrible. Name 2 species of cavity nesting ducks. One has to be a duck that dives to eat.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
I'll give half points on this one for one bird.
She's got to cover her thing.
I got one.
He's like, Sean just cheated.
No, I didn't. I saw
No,
she
that's
wrote the
fine.
saying
Hey,
it's
well, you cheat at cards all the time, but if somebody shows you your cards,
Right.
what the heck? You're
That's
gonna
what I
look.
said,
You're
just
gonna
gotta
look at
cover
them.
Doesn't matter.
hold on.
Well, the one's easy.
Yeah, one's easy, but
Pick any diving duck that you think is small enough to maybe fit in a cavity.
Yeah, we're gonna have to scratch my second one. Okay. Yeah.
There's big ones that fit in cavities too.
They're big. Well, they're not that big.
The females are small, way smaller than the males.
Yeah.
Probably because they have to fit in
Fit in
a
the
cavity.
Ooh, fun fact. What species makes the cavities that they use?
affiliated woodpecker.
Yeah.
Or woodpeckers
Or
in
woodpeckers.
general.
Do I get half a point for
You
that?
do get a half
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, wood duck.
Oh, who makes the rules on
We
here?
just made the rules up.
Yeah.
I thought you said I could make the
Is
rules.
everybody ready to
All
show
right.
their answers?
Wood duck.
Sean got a wood duck and a shoveler.
I got wood duck, and I had black-bellied whistling tree duck, but then when he said small, I went to ringneck.
It doesn't dive. So,
Yeah, that's
ringneck. Sarah put bufflehead and wood duck. Okay, Sarah's really kicking butt
Son
here.
of a bitch, I was gonna
So-
when we said how small they were.
Ooh, what are the
Wood,
others though?
wood duck is good, right?
Yeah.
Bufflehead.
Yeah.
Common goldeneye.
Oh, they're pretty big.
Hooded merganser.
They all
Hooded mergansers
tree
actually.
nesters?
Oh yeah, they compete with wood ducks for nest boxes. Yeah,
I didn't know it.
yeah.
They're actually quite.
Black belly whistling ducks, yes. Fulvous whistling ducks,
Wait a minute.
no,
I
no.
wrote black-bellied whistling tree duck.
But you did wood duck in that. In that
Oh, they're both. Okay,
they're both
non-divers.
Non-divers.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
You missed
Well,
it.
excellent. to
What am I missing?
Barrows.
Barrel's goldeneye. Yes, thank you.
So I get a half.
You do.
So who
Jimmy
here
gets a half.
Who here
Jim
shot
gets-
a black-bellied whistling tree duck? 2 points for
What?
you, Sarah.
Who's shot? Oh, you shot one.
I went 4 for 4 in Mexico.
Nice.
They're good eating.
Mississippi.
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah, good eating.
Cool,
and
cool.
Nice to mount. Right?
You see them sitting on the wires. Black bellies sit on
They
wires.
were, yeah, but yeah, they were out in the field when we got them.
All right. Number 4. This is I don't even know how to write a question. This species of duck is typically the number 2 harvested duck in the United States each year. Number 2.
Ooh, I don't know if I know that.
You don't know that?
Number 2.
Stump the chump. Everybody knows number 1, probably.
Mallard.
Mallards, yeah. In 2023, we shot 3.2 million mallards and 2.7 million of these as estimated by the Harvest Information
What
Program.
are these?
Yeah, what are these? That's what you're
tried.
supposed to be writing down. Pick any other common duck, Sean. Very, very common.
Oh,
This species of duck is typically the number 2 harvested duck in the U.S. each year.
I'm not changing my answer.
Ooh, that's pretty high up there, but it is not correct.
Blue-winged teal.
Wood duck is what Sean put.
Blue-winged teal.
Jim put blue-winged teal, And Sarah put green wing teal, even though she didn't really know it, and she got it right.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding. Green wing teal at 2.7.
Hate
Yeah.
shooting green ring tails.
So Woody,
I don't shoot
Woody's
them
were
because
number 3.
Woodies are. I'd have to look up where they're at. They're pretty high up there, but I think there's other species that come in higher.
You should have. You did.
Just because other places, not everywhere,
Practically that was-
not everywhere has wood ducks either. Right?
Teal.
Right.
Just should have said teal.
Teal's what's up.
Blue wings are gone too quick,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
We only
but
have
they
too
shoot-
short of. We shoot it. We shoot that.
6 a day when they're.
Right. All right, number 5. There are 2 names for the colorful feathers on the trailing edge of a dabbling duck wing. Give me one of those names. So like that blue colorful portion on a mallard wing. What do you call it? There's 2 different names for it. One's the technical one of the type of feather it is, and one's kind of slang.
No fucking idea.
None.
Bugs Bunny. That's
Write
my
something
answer.
fun. Write something fun. Okay, Sean's answer is fried chicken.
Stripe. Stripe.
Speculum, Jim put, yes. And Sarah put, what the heck did you write the first time?
I switched the letters around. It's late.
Oh, Sarah also has dyslexia, so
Dyslexia.
dyslexia. Sorry, it's not funny. It's speculum or secondaries.
That's why I was doing number 2.
Yes.
Well, I'm not. You're trying to cheat for me then.
Hey, it's all right.
Well, stripe is. You got 2 stripes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right.
What are the long ones on the end?
Didn't you give
That you
Jim
fly
a
with.
point?
Primaries.
Primary.
Jim and I are tied now. You forgot to.
No, you got
Okay.
0.5 and 0.5, and Sean, you got 1.
What'd you write
We
down?
got speculum.
You got
Oh.
that right.
Right. That's what
Because
I'm
you read
saying.
it.
I have to check.
Oh,
the
yeah.
fucking
You know I'm
test
gonna
giver.
cheat so that my wife wins this
I
game.
do
right?
that. Yeah. Right, yeah.
I think we should weight it based
She
on the
needs
number
a-
of years
she needs a
somebody
job.
Waterfowl.
She
Name.
needs a job, so yeah.
We're on number
And you
6.
get good discounts on clothing.
Yeah, I did.
Name a species of North American waterfowl that has a country designation in its name. So, for instance, if there was an African ruddy duck, the answer would be African. So, name a species of North American waterfowl that has a country designation in its name.
Okay, that was a bad example. Do you want the whole species or just the name?
Just
country?
the country designation.
So just the name of the country.
Yeah.
not the
So, for
species.
instance, if there was a duck called an African ruddy duck, and I hope there isn't because I'm pretty sure I have this Madgen Burns book of the waterfowl of the world, the answer would be African.
Okay, but that's a poorly worded question.
It's
Because you
probably
asked for
freaking
species.
horrible because I wrote it after we walked all over Hell's Half Acre pheasant hunting today and was tired and trying to watch a Bills game at the same time.
Say the question again.
Name a species of North American waterfowl that has a country designation in its name. So if, for instance,
got
there
it.
was an African
What do you got?
ruddy duck, the answer would be
Yeah.
African.
I started with that, but I changed to that because I know the bottom one's
That's right.
right.
The bottom's right. Yeah. Canada
Sean.
goose.
Oh, I didn't even think of that one. Canada.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's one
Well, I
other one.
put Nova
I didn't
Scotia
have this
first.
down. I had American black duck, American widgeon, and then there's another widgeon,
Eurasian.
Eurasian, which does occur sometimes in North America, which has
But Eurasian
Is
is not
Eurasian
a
is a
country.
is a dog.
It's not a
No,
country.
no,
No, it's a Eurasian widgeon.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
Have
it's
you ever
not a
seen-
country.
There's also
Eurasia
Eurasian
is not
Dutch.
Eurasian is not a country.
Correct.
It's
a
close
region.
enough. It's a
No, it's a
You're
region.
missing one.
Oh, so the
ooh.
test giver is wrong.
Slow down. What am I missing?
What are you missing?
Oh.
American green wing teal.
Nope.
Mexican black duck.
Mexican
Mexican
duck.
duck.
Mexican duck.
Something.
Good one. Good.
Mexican
Good
duck.
on you. Phil Loretsky's gonna hate me because
Isn't there
So who
Nova
got
Scotia
that?
something? Nova
Everybody
Scotia?
got it?
Everybody got a point.
Sean,
Not a water.
Jim, Sarah, you got that?
Yeah.
What'd you put? American.
Yeah.
Correct.
I forget about black ducks. Really, American black ducks. I never called them that ever.
Feel bad I didn't get the Canadian.
Yeah, man, the Canadian did not get the.
You need a beer? You need a beer, Sean?
Yes,
Is that your
please.
last one? Anybody else need a beer?
It's my last one. We'll get some more tomorrow.
Intermission.
Intermission.
Dr. Mike's grabbing beers.
I think in the top right, there in the back.
It's very back.
There's a Sleeman from Canada.
There is a Sleeman.
Yes.
Sean, where's your course?
All the way in the back in the right hand side. There's
Got
one
it.
left. And if I need to, there's a couple in the truck.
You want the Sleeman?
Yes.
Okay, there's the
Thank
sleeping
you.
for you. There you
And
go.
Oh,
Ooh,
this
she's
is-
icy.
this is the breaking of the intermission sound for the
Careful,
fall weather
that one.
podcast.
Oh wait, I'm lacking. Sorry. All right, this one I think is a gimme. White-cheeked geese
nope.
is another name for what general group of geese? This is question number 7.
Oh, general group?
What do you mean? What's confusing about this? White-cheeked geese is another name for what general?
For what species?
You could say that, yes.
Okay.
It's not a trick question.
I wrote something down quickly.
It's pretty straightforward. Pretty similar to another answer.
Logos.
Oh, white-cheeked.
I don't know.
Just their cheek.
Lesser?
Canada geese. Just Canada geese are white-cheeked geese.
You get it? Huh?
What that? This is rigged. Just
I
for-
know they were home all
Oh,
day.
yeah.
There
We're
are-
We're not trying to get food.
We're
for
not
the
It's
cold.
been
kids.
proctoring. These are
Which
only
we failed that
questions I can-
miserably.
There are at
Let me
least
see. Let me see both your pounds. Make sure you don't write it down on there.
I had a,
Pull up your
I had
sleeves.
a kid do that. Right, he had answers written on his palm.
turns out when you get sweaty and nervous,
That's what
they,
happened
they
to him.
disappear.
That's what happened to him.
So there are at least 11 subspecies of Canada geese. I guess only a few are distinct. This is what DU's webpage says, so if they're wrong, you can blame my wife's employer. 7 most recognized species are Atlantic, Hudson Bay or Interior, Giant, Moffats or Great Basin, Lesser, Dusky, and Vancouver. So, and then there's a bunch of subpopulations. I don't even know all
Catfish?
those.
Interesting.
Catfish are another species.
Yeah,
I
you're right,
think they're
yeah.
separate
Yeah, they are.
species.
Canada,
Right.
Does that have to do with the answer that we just did? Or is
Those
that
are the
just
subspecies of
Is
Of
it the next-
subspecies of Canada geese. No, that's not the question. I was doing the factoid afterwards, Jim.
tangential? Okay.
You know, then these quiz games, there's a factoid about the question
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah.
You know,
That's everybody hated
Was it-
Alex Trebek.
because he had everything in front of him like I do and sounded really fucking smart. All right, Alex Trebek,
Oh,
f off.
Yeah, one time he said,
Oh, no.
Oh no, that's
It
sad.
makes sense now, doesn't it, Sean?
How many questions are there going to be here?
10.
All right, let's get going here. Jesus Christ.
Oh, watch your swearing. All right, on this trip, we've seen several
It's
water. It's frozen.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it was pushed way back.
I just opened the PBR. If you want that, I can't say that I'm lying.
This
No, you're
it
good.
keeps
Oh, wait.
coming out.
Yes, frozen beers do flow. Here, it's got whiskey in it, but
There you go.
all right. We've seen several water bird species on this trip that could be misidentified as waterfowl. So water birds and waterfowl are different. Name one.
No, I think-
We've seen several water bird species on this trip that could be misidentified as waterfowl. Name one. And Sarah, don't come up with
Don't
some
get
wise
cute.
ass
Yeah, she's
answer.
getting cute. I know.
can't see it.
Yeah. We had-
Iconius bovine scatologist.
Misidentified in the air.
Just write your answer down and shut up your face.
What's your right?
Yellow
What you got?
Everybody, yeah.
Oh, a yellow leg.
I,
I didn't think of that. Yeah.
It's great. We had 50 of them.
50
50
of
of
them.
them.
Don't shoot it! Don't shoot!
Yeah, you said don't shoot them. Well,
Don't shoot this yellow leg. Yeah, there were guys across the wetland. This was years ago at Montezuma in the state
Oh,
land.
that's interesting.
In the watered
And
down.
bean with.
Oh, there's not much in there though, was
enough
there?
to taste it.
Oh, that's interesting. So Jim just poured his beer into a glass I had because it was frozen.
I brought it from Canada.
It was sitting way in the back of the fridge. It somehow froze.
Some
And I had,
subspecies
and
of
it
the
kept
Canis
coming out of
apes.
his can, and I had a little whiskey glass, with a little Jim Beam left in it, and he poured it in there, and now he's got
Yeah, it's
a
like
spiked,
barrel, like a barrel whiskey barrel.
a spiked Sleeman. So yeah, these guys were like, "What is that? Can I shoot it? What's it taste?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a yellow leg. It's a yellow leg. It's a shorebird." What's it taste like? A $5,000 fine. What? Don't shoot it. I had American coot and double crested cormorant were what I had down because we've seen that's what a cormorant is, double crested cormorant.
I
that
know.
we're seeing. So
Bada bing, scorer. Sarah has 8 questions.
oh yeah, Sarah has 8.
Jim and
Do you have-
Sean are
Did you get
tied
everything
for
right
that.
so far?
3.5. We got a half.
Yeah.
You've got every question right.
Well, I'd lose my job if I don't. I think
Yeah,
we
you've already
established
put in the
that. The pressure is very
All
high.
right.
For the record,
So there's no way right now.
Sean and Jim are both at 3.5.
Yes. So we have two.
And I
others.
still think it should
So.
be weighted based on the number of
Podcast
years
Nation.
and
For
waterfowl.
the record, Sean and I were gone all afternoon while these two schemed.
I don't think so. So waterfowl are technically lots of people get this wrong. Waterfowl are technically only ducks, geese, and swans. Coots are rails, and coots are rails. Yeah, their feet basically, and the compressed bill sideways. And cormorants are in the family. Oh my goodness. Somebody pronounce this. I should be able to do this because I teach ornithology, and this one's even hard for me. PHALACROCORACIDAE.
Oh my God.
You didn't even have a piece of paper
Well,
long enough.
Right, I'll say it again.
PHALACROCORACIDAE.
IDAE.
Yeah. Let's all
Platypus.
families.
Phalacrocus
Phalacrocosidae.
Yeah.
So hard to say. Try teaching it and
That's
have
a
that
lot of
come off the
letters.
tongue.
That's a lot of letters.
That's a lot of letters. Yes.
As I found out by starting over here.
Students hate it. So I don't do like they have to know scientific names of every bird, but I want them to know the family of the bird.
Right.
And like that one, if they get close,
Right. It's not a
they
spelling
get
test.
they're not going to lose all their points. They get a point, right? They're going to lose a point for not spelling it right, but they're not going to lose all the points. So, anyhow. Sean, the one just for you. Question number 9. Of the dog breeds typically used for waterfowl hunting in cold water, what is the only recognized AKC breed that originated in the good old US of A?
Boom. Got it already.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Slow down. We got listeners that are trying to think of this. Of the dog breeds typically used for waterfowl hunting in cold water, what is the only recognized AKC breed that originated in the good old US of A? He's going to show me a picture because he owns these.
CBRs.
Sean says Chesapeake Bay Retriever.
Jesse.
Upside down.
Boykin.
Cold water. Wrong.
Wrong.
You could use a boykin in cold water.
It's not meant for cold water. I am not.
AKC only
You just-
recognizes as sea
No,
turtle.
the boykin is a
The
recognized
Boykin is actually recognized
Is
as
it?
well.
for South Carolina. Yeah.
I would think.
You can use it, but typically used.
It can be used.
No. Look, breed typically used for waterfowl
Not
hunting in
could
cold
be.
water.
Typically.
Not could be, typically.
No, it's typically used for waterfowl hunting.
No, typically
cold
used
weather.
for waterfowl hunting in cold water.
Why couldn't you? Just because it's a dog in South Carolina doesn't mean it can't be typically used
All
in
right.
the north.
You can. you
Would
can-
anybody else accept her answer?
No.
No. There we go. You did.
Well,
Wrong.
All right.
hey, seriously, you could use a Volkswagen as a truck, but it's not typically used as a bike.
Yet
This is a very good analogy, Jim.
Hey,
So here's what I need to do now, because I pulled this off. This is just Wikipedia the hell out of it. But I'm gonna do my. You ever hear the Westminster soundbite? The guy that describes the dogs when they come
Oh
out from
yeah.
Westminster. The breed was developed in the United States, Chesapeake Bay area, during the 19th century. Historically used by local market hunters to retrieve waterfowl, pulling fishing nets, and rescuing fishermen, it is today primarily a family pet and hunting companion, known for a bright and happy disposition, courage, willingness to work. Everybody just lost their shit over bright and happy disposition.
Just
Hard.
own a lot of 2x4s.
Willingness to work, alertness, intelligence, love of water, and hunting capabilities.
And
Boykin.
stubbornness.
Not a Boykin.
Stubbornness. I tell you though,
Thing there.
people always said, like, the thought is like the way you train a Chessie,
Boykin.
the way you train a Chessie
getting maybe a boykin.
is with a 2x4. And
Yeah.
I think it's actually the total opposite. You can make a lab do what you want it to. What I've found is the better you treat that dog and you put it in the right situations to learn on its own, the better dog it becomes. I don't think you beat anything into a Chessie.
No.
I don't really think that's true at all. I think you just give them a loving home and you work the hell out of them and they pick it up and they'll be good dogs.
I've never been around one.
My
I've had
Blue she is the most perfect dog. Even my wife admits it. Blue is perfect.
How many Chessies have you had now, Sean?
4.
4.
Raised 2 litters.
Yep.
Got pups from Alaska to the Carolinas.
Cool.
One
We
golden,
had
two labs.
1 golden, 2
One golden,
labs.
Yeah, all of them were great.
We had 3 chessies, and Sarah said never again. So actually, we had 2, and then my dad got sick enough that we had to take his chessie, and that's the one that's the one you knew.
Yeah.
Oh, you knew 2 of them. You knew Tanker
I
as
knew
well.
Tinker.
Yep. Yeah. So the first one we got was Anne, and that's Sarah met me, and I own this dog. That dog was a keg with legs. She had like a horrible underbite. No, overbite.
She was.
And we,
Bucktooth.
Yeah, she did.
Bucktooth Jessie.
when we went and picked her up, I mean, I pulled like 15 to 20 pounds off that dog. The dude worked at a meat packing plant,
Oh, geez.
and she lived in a horse stall. He would just come home at night and throw freaking
Half a
meat,
roast.
just half a roast over the thing. And she was a gnarly dog, but she retrieved hundreds of ducks for me on Lake Ontario for my PhD work that we did collections. So, but she was the stinkiest animal on the
You
planet.
ever seen Fifth Element?
The Fifth Element.
No, there's a
The movie with
The movie.
Bruce
with
Willis
Yeah.
and
so the
the
protagonist in the movie that has the monsters or whatever that are like trying to blow the ship up or whatever. That's what she looked like.
yeah.
What were their names,
I don't
Steven?
remember.
Anne?
Oh.
No.
No.
Number 10. Question number 10. What is the average? This isn't as hard as it sounds, I don't think. What is the average clutch size or the number of eggs laid in a nest by a hen mallard? There's some leeway here, so you don't have to get the exact number. It's really funny. Like North Dakota Game and Fish webpage literally has a range. I'm like, that's not an average, but whatever.
I know. The average is somewhere between 10
Right.
and 12. No,
So
it's
you
not.
don't have to have the exact number. So if it was 18 to 20 and you said any number in that range, you'd get this correct.
So the medium.
Quit being a nerd, Sarah, and don't pulling stats terms out.
So you want to basically like 1 to 2.
Yeah.
But just give one number, and if it falls in that range, you get it right. Right? So average
One-
clutch size.
Just one. Okay.
One number.
Oh,
One
one
number.
Yeah, but not how many what they might have. Okay.
I'm going to say 10.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna say 8.
12.
Who? 10 to 12.
Not 8.
Not 8.
Damn, there's more than that?
Oh,
I thought
Well-
I put 10 to 12, but
I
then
got
said,
you. I
"Eh."
got you.
Well, actually, yeah.
Did you get it? You got it. Sarah got it. Sean got it, and Jim did
I
not.
got an 8.
Sean,
Second
Second
place!
place!
second place. Woohoo! I feel like Jim threw the game on purpose
No,
because you guys have been
No, I don't.
good
I-
friends.
I'll
on
drive
this
tomorrow,
trip.
Jim.
We
Make up for
you
it.
don't know our family. We don't. Yeah.
You should.
We don't-
So here's the deal: 10 to 12 eggs, as per North Dakota Game and Fish webpage, right? But what's crazy in that clutch, I don't know if you know this, how much hen mallards cheat. Do not take dating advice from ducks. In a single nest, there can be more than one male that fertilized eggs, like
Wow.
4 to 5.
Right. Yeah, they're known for their gangbanging.
Oh my God, we cannot say gangbanging on the Fall Weather podcast.
Multiple sex partners.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Which
Who
would be
was
gang
it
of
years
people.
ago? Oh my goodness, this was Tom Nuds. I think he's retired now, obviously. I think definitely.
Say gang.
I can't do this? So duck rape is a thing, right? It's like
Right, I know,
something
I've
that
seen it.
happens.
Yeah.
Tom Nuds came up with he wrote it on the whiteboard or blackboard at Delta's camp that we were working at. Forced unsolicited copulatory kinetics.
Spell
Yeah.
that.
What's that spell out as? Forced unsolicited copulatory
Oh.
kinetics. Anywho, the reason this happens is actually the last, because in all female birds can store sperm for a really long time. Like a hen turkey, it's like 45 days. They have tubules that they store it. But the last stop, you guys. The last sperm in is what fertilizes the egg. So there's a ton of competition among males all the time. And think about this: a hen mallard that may be paired with a male in Mississippi. Well, once they get to say North Dakota, is he the best male? So it makes sense for her to kind of kick around and look for another dude that might be better. It's bet hedging that you at least got one egg in there that's going to carry your genes on. So it's kind of cool stuff. But don't take dating advice from ducks. So
Bird flight.
So Sarah keeps her job.
Sarah keeps her job. You
What
keep
Still contested
keep your
before we get-
dignity.
I'll
Okay.
take that.
Oh, what about the 2 questions?
I'm gonna do the tiebreakers.
Are you gonna reread the questions though?
What tiebreakers do we want?
Why am I rereading
The
questions?
answers to all of them.
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
Other quiz shows do that, and I think it's lame. Just keep
Right,
track of your
yeah.
stuff.
What are the bonuses?
Tiebreaker.
Touche.
We're gonna do them for fun.
Count bonuses.
Bonuses. If Jim gets both these right,
There we go.
is the top person gets both of them right, then he wins. So we still
It's
new
bottom
rule.
person.
New rule.
Because the top person.
How many species of North American dabbling ducks have blue on them? How many species of North American dabbling ducks have blue on them? See, here's the thing.
Would you count?
Here's the thing, Sean.
Would you count?
She's
skimmers
making
as
faces.
dabbling?
Yes.
A certain sort of duck with lots of lamellae that are kind of skimmers.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Anything that doesn't have to
Non-divers.
not tree ducks,
Right.
and not divers or sea ducks. Yes. So the ones that dabble and tip on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
You just want a number.
Mm-hmm. So then, see what I mean? You don't. If you can go through your brain. So, yeah.
What are just blue in general, huh?
Blue in general.
Oh.
Beaks.
Blue in general.
Okay. Any kind of blue.
Blue on them. Blue color on them.
I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
How many species of North American dabbling ducks have blue on them? Could be whatever body part at all. External, not internal.
No quakias.
Jim's really doing the calculus over here.
I got okay.
Sarah's
So,
confused.
She's writing a bunch down.
She's writing a bunch down.
Jim's cheating off her. I
No,
just gave
not.
Are there any diving ducks that have blue on them?
Yes.
Bluebells?
Bartlett
Bet on their bill.
on the bill.
Redheads? Redheads, male
I already
redheads.
gave you my number, so it doesn't matter.
Jim's just.
I
doing
wrote down
the
names. I didn't write down numbers. So.
Oh, you have a number yet?
Well, I'm gonna round up then because I'm sure there's someone missing. There we go.
All right.
I got 7.
Ooh, Sarah.
10.
10.
You want some?
10. Oh my goodness, I want to see 10.
What did you get? What was your answer?
It's a little ambiguous, so we're gonna see what Sarah's.
you said?
7.
That's what I got.
Yep.
All right. Mallard.
Mallard. Yep.
Wood duck.
Yep.
Pintail.
Yep.
Widgeon.
Wait. Where on the pintail?
On the wing.
Oh,
And the bill.
just the bill. You're
I
fired.
thought about pintails. I'm thinking, God, they do have
The bill.
big
The
blue
male
bill.
is the blue
Shit.
bill.
Yeah.
That's right.
Go.
Widgeon.
Widgeon where?
Bill.
Bill.
Yeah.
Sky blue.
Got it.
Male.
Shoveler.
Got it.
Shoveler on the wing.
That's why I asked about the skimmers.
Yep.
Blue wing tail.
Blue and teal.
No shit. Blue wing tail, blue on the
Yeah,
wing.
really, yeah.
What other teal?
Cinnamon tail.
Cinnamon tail.
Damn it!
In the parts
Seen those.
collection thing, they can't separate them because the wings look identical, right? When they send the
I
wings.
missed the only one I had a shot at in Mexico. I missed.
And what else do you have? How do you have 3 more?
Black duck. Mottled
Purp-
duck. Mexican
Purple.
duck.
Ooh. Mottled duck.
Mexican. And black duck.
Purplish blue.
Black is-
Not
black-
technically.
Blue. It
Black-
says blue in the name.
Black is purplish.
I'm giving it to both of you because 7 is what I had, but obviously Sarah's a better duck biologist than I am. So, yeah.
We're tied again. That was-
Oh, we are. Yeah. We're
we got
tied
another
again.
bonus on.
I won the real
All right.
thing.
So
is
this
the
one
tiebreaker.
you can't tie on. Tiebreaker number 2.
Is this a winner take all question?
This is a winner take all. No.
Okay.
Winner take all.
By the way,
Yeah.
Jim Beam and Sleeman is
Jim Bremen Sleeman. Yeah, it is. It's like a Sleeman Boilermaker. In 2023, what was the mallard harvest in the state of Arkansas? How many mallards did the state of Arkansas harvest in 2023? What is the estimate?
What was the national number?
3 point. What was the national number? Was 3.2 million across the whole United States. How many did Arkansas shoot? Person that's closest wins. And this is going to make me do math, which we know I'm not good at. I'm not good at simple math at all. So I might have to do some algebra over here.
You said 3.2 million?
Was the total U.S. harvest? What was the mallard harvest in the state of Arkansas in 2023 as estimated by the Harvest Information Program?
2023. That's the
Last year.
last year we
Last year.
went down there.
Well, there weren't any, right? You got one?
God, because I've heard him say this.
It was low last year because it was low.
I'm going to say.
Well, you write it down. Don't
Right.
tell anybody. Write it down. What was the mallard harvest in the state of Arkansas in 2023? Does anybody want a hint?
0.8.
It's been as high as like 1.2 million, I think. It's like 800,000, 500,000. Yeah. It's
I wrote down 1.1 million.
Jim?
251,687.8.
oh my goodness.
But isn't that
1 mil.
harvest?
No,
1
3.9.
point. So you just wrote
1.2 million.
1.3 million. I'm going
1.2.
I put half-
1.2.
You said 1.2
No, he
million
said-
was the total
No, he said
harvest.
3.2 was the total.
3.2 is the
Oh,
total.
I'm sorry. I misheard.
All right, so Jim's got 1.3 million.
1.2. Don't round up that high.
What's 1.251?
That's
Okay,
it.
1.251.
There we go.
Sean did 500,000, 500,000, and Sarah did oh my God. How did you get that close, Sarah?
What's she put?
What?
350,000. It's 300.
I'm closer than you.
It's 355,504. And Sarah put 350,000.
I know it was
Damn
wicked
right.
low. I know it was wicked.
Now it feels rigged to me.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I get a half a point because I was the second closest.
Yeah.
So now, there, you're still last.
I'm still third place.
Yeah, Jim, you are still third place. I do apologize. For the
It
sake
was lower than before, but
For the sake of comparison, the entire country of Canada in 2022, that's the most up-to-date data that Canada has, because I guess you guys just can't get your shit together and report things quickly enough.
That's about right.
Stop. So the entire country of Canada in 2022 shot 310,486 mallards.
most of which were shot by U.S.
So
people
typically,
crossing the
here's the
border.
deal. Typically, Arkansas waterfowl hunters shoot more mallards, even on bad years, than the entire country of Canada. So I always I'm like, man, when you guys complain in Arkansas about stuff,
What's the population of Arkansas?
you asking what the population of Arkansas is? Arkansas shoots ducks, is the point. A lot. So, well, Sarah, you keep your job. Sean, you keep your dignity. Jim had too much Jim Beeman and Sleeman to give right answers. So, thanks everybody for
That's not one right answer.
joining us on the Kitchen Conversations. Because Sean's like, I gotta go to bed. So.